everyone, welcome to GodThink TV. We are still talking about intimacy with God. We're here with Pastor Bob, but we're also here
Howdy.
with our good friend Liz,
Yes.
which if you don't remember her episode, it'll be linked down in the description where you can see her previous episode talking about her personal relationship with the Lord and intimacy with the Lord. But she's also our director of Spirit, which is our minister's training here. So she's going to talk about Spirit and how, as the director / teacher, how she tries to get us, because I'm a student of hers, to be intimate with God, which can't always be easy. I imagine I'm in the class and I wouldn't want to teach me, but not always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's crazy. Let me tell you a little secret. We've had to drag these two kicking and screaming into this room today. Just so you know out there. Okay.
Now that you know. You have questions you want to ask Liz?
Sure, Liz. Lizard. One of my favorites.
Perfect. Let's just get that out there.
Let's get that out there so everybody
great.
knows. Yes, give a thumbs up for Lizard.
I can make a little green one like walk across the screen.
We can do that. We can do that. No, but seriously, we're talking about intimacy with God, and that's easy for me not to say. My mouth is not working. I mean, she's got bad teeth, but well, she has good teeth, but she's got wisdom teeth.
My wisdom teeth are coming in. Let the wisdom come into this episode.
Yes. You know, it's hard to tell how much of this filming is going to make it onto this thing because she's going to edit it all out, I think. But anyway, intimacy with God and Liz and spirit training. Mm-hmm. And so spirit training really is compelling people to become very intimate with God. Because if we're not doing that, what are we doing? What are we training them into? Mm-hmm. Yes? Right. Just like we had just discussed with previous guests about crosswalk and how that intimacy looks like, not only in their personal lives, but actually in the training and how you bring your students into an intimacy with God. Mm-hmm. So, what do you do? How do you do this?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
The goal of Spirit ministry training is to train people how to equip them for ministry, to really wrestle out, scriptural principles and how we walk those out with people in the church, in ministry. Mm-hmm. And what usually gets lost along the way in the work of the ministry is intimacy with the Lord. That's usually the first place that begins to suffer when we begin to get busy. And so it's a hard thing to it's really such a personal thing that someone has to defend and maintain and grow their personal relationship with the Lord. And it really, all ministry has to be sourced out of that, or it just becomes religion.
Outsourced.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
It does become that way.
And you begin to get dry and burn out and
go through the motions for just going through the motions.
Exactly.
Getting homework done just to get it done.
Yeah, reading books just to
get
complete
it
an assignment.
Last minute. We wouldn't know about that.
Those types of people are terrible students.
Well, they're not terrible students.
We love them anyway.
We love them anyway, but we love them in the Lord. That's it.
We love them. We don't like them.
We do. We like them too.
It's like Jesus is.
But yeah, you can go through the motions of ministry.
Absolutely.
And be really faithful to it, actually, and serve really well and give your life in a lot of ways.
You can be pretty good at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I did ministry for a long time out of that place. But you can begin to resent it at the same time and resent the people that you're serving. And it won't last is the bottom line.
But that's a problem because God's looking upon the heart. Mm-hmm. And so, and we're looking on the outward parts and he's looking at the heart and going, that's nice. That's a great show.
Right.
Well, what's really on the inside is a whole different matter going on here.
Absolutely.
Boy, how do you draw your group into intimacy with the Lord?
Well, I always try to keep that at the center of what we're studying, what we're learning is that our ministry has to come out of a place of abiding with him. And I try to bring it back to that very personal place and really give time and opportunity to discuss, what does that really look like? If we're talking about loving one another, what does that actually look like? What does it actually look like to have your ministry come out of a place of where you've been abiding with the Lord, right? So Jesus, he did what he saw the Father doing, and he said what he heard the Father saying. And so his ministry came out of that personal relationship and then was manifest in front of other people.
Absolutely.
You know, and so trying to, you know, it's like I feel like I can do my part to present it, but it really is so much dependent on the students to take it and embrace it and really walk that out and really wrestle it out. You know, and
let it interrogate your life. In other
absolutely.
words, yeah.
You know, and for me as an instructor to do the same,
Right.
you know, to model that and try to share, you know, my personal times with the group in hopes of inspiring or just letting them know some. You know, sometimes I think we think our time with the Lord has to be a certain way, or
Right.
it has to be really academic or really studious, and sometimes it's really just about sitting with him and listening to him and then moving from that place.
Yeah. Matter of fact, in terms of listening to him, one of the things we do in our schools is we require heart checks from everybody. You want to tell people about what a heart check is?
Yeah.
And what it's designed to motivate. Now, not everybody does it, right?
I do mine.
Oh, good girl. Then,
Sometimes I have to do mine more, and I just type it out because she
Yes.
gives us like a little slip of paper.
That's on purpose.
And but I was like, oh, Liz, I shared a folder on Google Drive with you. And she's like, great.
I love it. Terabyte's not big enough for my for my heart check. I love it. But
Yeah.
you guys explain what heart checks are. Well, actually, you explain what you hope to get from your students with it, and then you tell me what you get.
Okay.
Yeah. So the heart check is really simple. It's just a piece of, you know, a strip of paper, and it just says, what did the Lord speak to you about this week? And so the students fill it in as they're coming into class. And I really love reading them because they're very personal. They're usually just simple things. And that's really, you know, how we walk with God is just one simple thing at a time.
Yeah.
And so I love hearing, you know, God talk to me about this week, or he's been, you know, I have this question maybe. And so it's a good place for me as an instructor to be able to see where people are at. And I love reading because I learn actually from them, and I get very inspired by their personal relationship with the Lord. But it's a simple thing that's been very good for the growth of
It's
our
really
class.
effective. I know I adopted it into one of the classes I'm teaching, and except I should maybe do that piece of paper as they're coming in, because sometimes I get a book,
Yeah.
you know, and they email them to me and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just putting somebody right on the spot as they're walking in, but they might not come to my class then. You know, that's
Right,
another thing.
right.
Well, what does it do for you, Miss Brooke? Mrs. Brooke.
Right, Mrs. Yes,
Mrs.
that's
Brooke.
interesting. So when I first started Spirit, and then I learned that was a thing, it actually kind of made me think about it more during the week. You know, because I kind of knew that was going to be something that was going to be asked of me later. And so kind of during the week, it kind of made me just want to like, oh, like, what are you speaking to me this week, God? You know, just not just so I could like fulfill the assignment or whatever, but so I'm also like, it just kind of made me more aware, you know, because there'd be other times in my life where maybe he was speaking something to me, but only when it was like a big kind of revelation or something was I like, wow, and I wanted to like write it down, or I wanted to tell somebody about it, you know.
Yeah.
But now with this, it kind of just made me think about it. And then there are more times where I'm like, oh, what did God speak to me this week? Oh, there was that little thing or whatever. But that's still okay. But then there's other times, like I said, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell Liz about this whole page
I love it.
of something, you know, and she lets me do that, which is really nice.
It is nice. I feel like for somebody out there too that, you know, there's maybe that's a challenge in your heart to actually write down each week what God is talking to you about. Because I think a lot of us hear God, but we don't really know it sometimes, or we don't pay attention. But if you start putting in writing, like, oh, this is what he actually spoke to my heart, I think we become more self-accountable to it. And not accountable always in a bad way, but also in a good way, because you find out what he really thinks about you, which a lot of that is actually probably pretty good, you know, and he has a greatness for you. And, you know, I know my thoughts toward you, you know, and plans and purposes. And I think if we get in the habit of thinking about that and actually putting it down so we can rehearse it to ourselves, it really affects our lives. And like I said, I felt like maybe out there's people that really need to like start incorporating that into your life and really enjoying that part of life. You know what I'm saying?
And I think a big part of doing the heart check in spirit and what helps kind of create that more intimate bond with God is because you are sharing it with somebody else. I totally agree that writing it down, like if you have a journal, that's really great.
Yeah.
But I also found when I actually go a step farther to share it, like the heart checks I'm sharing with Liz as the teacher, but if God speaks something to me and if I were to make note of that and like share it with my husband or my friend or somebody,
Right.
then it kind of makes it even more real. And what I was going to say about the class, the way that Liz actually teaches the class, I think inspires intimacy with God through others because it's very discussion oriented, and Liz is usually very honest about like, wow, this amazing happened in this ministry, or she's just really honest about herself.
Yeah.
She's not just going up there, okay, turn to page, blah, blah, in your books. And it's not like that. And then she allows all of us to chime in, and we're all kind of talking about it all together. And then we get to know each other better, and we are inspired by each other's relationships or each other's questions. And that's what I like about Spirit.
Yeah, it's really a great thing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do like a shameless plug for Spirit right here, right now. And that is because, we are starting up Spirit here very shortly. And by the time you're going to get to see this, you can sign up for Spirit. We actually do it. We have a component of it we can do online, and we've had several people do it online from places far and wide, and it works out for them also. But I think it's a great thing for training, and you also get exposed to a really great teacher that Liz is. And I know she doesn't like to hear all that stuff, but we'll just say it here. But she is the best teacher in our church.
Oh my gosh.
And right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 18 months long about. Some
something
people
like that.
take a little longer.
Yeah.
But that's all right, right?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to put that out there that it is about 18 months long, and it's one class a week. And so if you do sign up for it, doing it kind of over the internet, you just listen to the class recording, and then we have sometimes, we do have homework. Sometimes there's books that you read over the course of several weeks.
Are you reading a book now?
I'm reading a book right now.
Really? What's that?
Unoffendable.
Unoffendable? That's a great one.
I remember his name was really funny to me.
Brant Hansen.
Yeah, Brant
Yes.
Hansen.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like he's from Kentucky.
That's funny. That's weird,
But it's
funny.
a good book. And the other book that the other level 2 people are reading is...
Yeah, they're reading Culture of Honor by Danny Silk.
Yeah.
That's their book.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, anything you want to say to people about this, and maybe possibly joining, or what they have to look forward to?
Where do they have to go to sign up?
Where do they go to sign up? Yeah, how do they do this?
Yeah, if you're interested or have questions about Spirit, you can email me. My email address is liz@wordoflifeca.com. You can go to our church website, wordoflifeca.com, and there's a tab on the menu about
you
that
have things
as well.
Going here, huh?
I'm
Or
putting
you
it on
can
the
just
screen.
Nice.
reply to this video, and
Yeah.
Mrs. Brooke,
Oh, gosh.
Mrs. Brooke Battle,
And her
will
home
get
phone
you-
number is
We'll also put all
She'll
those...
get you in touch.
We'll put all
with us.
those links down in the description box as well. But yeah, there's many ways you can get a hold of us. But our website's probably the easiest.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
wordoflifeca.com.
Yeah, listen, your life will be changed, and really for the good. I can promise you that. And everybody that I know that's ever been through Spirit training with Liz has had just a spectacular change of life. Some we're still working on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it's changed my life.
Yes,
you know?
it changes
Well, that's
everybody's
good.
We're
life.
always learning. We're always growing.
Absolutely.
And and the reminder
Yeah.
of where ministry has to be sourced from.
Yes.
Right. That's always something we can remember and grow in.
Absolutely.
And something else that's really exciting is it's a free class. You just have to pay for a couple books. And so we're not really trying to push this because we want your money.
Right.
We are pushing it because
But if you have to send money, so
there is an online giving option.
yeah. Well, I think we can wrap it up,
Sure.
and you go.
Oh, me? Is this
Yeah.
my cue to do the thing? All right. Well, yeah, if you like this video, if you think that Liz is great and Pastor Bob is great, and that maybe I should not read my books so last minute, give this video a thumbs up. And maybe that'll encourage me. And you can also subscribe if you don't want to miss out. We believe maybe perhaps season 3 is going to start up pretty soon. So if you want to be part of that, go ahead and subscribe. And don't forget to follow GodThink TV on Instagram, because we would love to just engage with all of you guys. And again, learn more information at wordoflifeca.com. Something else to remark is that there's a prayer request form down in the description box. So if you have prayers that you want to have answered, because I believe God does answer prayer, we have a huge prayer team here.
Yes.
We send your prayer requests off to them, but we also pray for them as well.
Absolutely.
And we're just believing God for great things. So, without further ado, goodbye, everybody.
Later, Gator.